Tẹ̀síwájú ọ̀pọ̀ ire àtòhun tó dára. Ọmọ òkàlìdé bọ́ sípò ẹ̀tọ́ rẹ̀. Ìwọ ni ìmọ́lẹ̀ gbogbo adúláwọ̀.
Thank you very much, guys, for joining us. I think that by now, every Yoruba citizen should be able to sing the national anthem of the Yoruba nation. Yeah, I think we should be able to sing it. So thank you for joining us for day 9 of our campaign on the interpretation of the Constitution of Western Nigeria, which is the Yoruba Constitution. So, but I would like to quickly refer you back to what we've discussed on day 2 of this campaign trail. If you look through chapter 2 of the Constitution of Western Nigeria, which is on page 163, under legislature, if you look at section 1 and section 5, subsection 1, the House of Chiefs shall consist of, that's what it says. Don't forget that we've stated that the House of Chiefs is an insult on the Yoruba Obas, that our Obas are not chiefs, but they are Obas. So we have changed that to the House of Obas. So if you look at section 5, subsection 1, it says, the House of Obas shall consist of A, the person for the time being holding such chieftaincies as may be prescribed by the governor, which is the head of state, who shall be ex officio members of the house. B says 87 obas. It was written as chief, but we have changed it to obas. 87 obas having such qualifications and selected in such manner as may be prescribed by the legislature of the regions. That is, only 87 obas in Yoruba land were constitutionally recognized as obas in Yoruba land. The over 10,000 obas that we have is too ridiculous. Majority, many of them are Baale. And if you look at section C of subsection 1, says such special members, aside the fact that 87 obas are selected as members of the House of Obas, there are special provisions for special members being chiefs, not exceeding 4, as may be selected by the governors, acting in accordance with the advice of the premier. What this section is saying in the literal meaning is that across Yoruba land, there are some families who have done extraordinary things for the Yoruba nation. They have gone extra mile to show their love for the Yoruba nation. This family are described as special members of the House of Obas. They are not Obas, but because of what they have done, they have assumed the position of being special people to sit in council with our natural leaders, the Yoruba Obas. And I said, remember in this book that I wrote, I said I wrote this book in 2017 anyway, that we have identified the 4 special members from 4 families in Yoruba land. These are the Awolowo's family, Abiola's family, Fela families, and Tinubu's family. Now, these 4 families have done exceptional things for the Yoruba nation. Many of them even gave their life for our civilization that we still hold dear today. And I did mention that subsequently, this constitution will be definitely amended, and then the special members could be increased to 5, 6, 7. Why am I referring to this chapter 2, which we have done our own, we've done the interpretation already. We're already in chapter 6, but I'm referring to this chapter 2 again to emphasize the need that there are some individuals, they are not others, but because of what they have done, they are equivalent to our Kabiyesi. People like them we have currently in the person of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. You will know that during the June 12th struggle, this man was an ordinary senator. When he was made senator under the SDP, a conservative political party, the arrangement was that Tinubu would be the Senate president. But then the calculation was that Musa, I think Shehu Yaradua, the senior Yaradua, will fly the party ticket of the SDP as the presidential candidate. And that was what happened. So they've zoned the presidency of the Senate to the Yoruba nation, and Tinubu was penciled down as the candidate. But Yaradua and the others were disqualified. That gives the opportunity to MK Abiola to contest for the party ticket of the SDP, among others. I think he contested with Atiku and the rest of them like that. So eventually MK Abiola was selected. Tinubu then willingly, when they got to the Senate, he was already elected as a senator. Then Tinubu willingly gave up the presidency of the Senate. He said that since the presidency, the presidential ticket of SDP has now been given to a Yoruba, it doesn't make sense for him to be the president of the Senate. So he sacrificed his position so that MK Abiola could be made president. That was the first thing he did. He was very young then. Then after that, he was arrested by Abacha and put in prison. But he escaped from prison, found himself in London. From London, he moved to America. Then from America, he started sourcing for fund for the Yoruba nation, sending money to Nadeko. It is on record. And this guy confirmed it, Dele Momodu confirmed it in an Instagram video. It is on record that Tinubu single-handedly funded special forces from Germany to come and rescue MK Abiola. Abiola said he shouldn't worry, that he will be fine because Abiola believes in the Hausa flag. Otherwise, Tinubu will have used his own personal wealth to free the Yoruba nation by bringing machineries from Germany to fight on our behalf. That was the third thing he has done for the Yoruba nation. Aside the fact giving up the presidency of the Senate, aside the fact sourcing for money for Nadeko to fight the June 12th struggle, he single-handedly went to Germany to arrange for machinery to come and free MKO. Then he was given the ticket of the Lagos State governor in 1999 after he returned to Nigeria, upon which he did excellently well. And today, what he did in Lagos is what we'll see. And aside that, he remains the only conservative governor across Yoruba land who rejected Obasanjo. He won Afenifere, saying to Afenifere that, look, we should present a candidate to vie for the presidency against Obasanjo in 2003. Afenifere said, no, Obasanjo is one of us. He told them that Obasanjo does not believe in the interests of the Yoruba nation. Lamadeshina of Oyo State, Oshoba of Ogun State, Adebayo of Ekiti State, I think Adefarati of Ondo State, and the rest of them, and this guy in Kwara, all of them believed Obasanjo except Tinubu, who says that a leopard cannot change its color. So, because of that, Tinubu planned, because Obasanjo, after he had won the presidency, you remember, presidential election was always the last election in Nigeria. But because Obasanjo wanted to rig the entire election across Yoruba land, he moved forward the presidential election as the first election in 2003. After Afenifere, who have been deceived by Obasanjo, after they allow him to have free reign in Yoruba land, because we did not present any candidates. Our party then did not present any candidate for the presidency. After Afenifere helped Obasanjo to win the presidency, then the following weekend, it was the governorship election. Obasanjo rigged everything. He brought out military and police. Tinubu again showed his love for the Yoruba nation. He brought out the NURTW members, who are people like MC Oluomo today. It was these people who helped Tinubu to secure Lagos State. Tinubu believes in organized violence. He has shown this considerable time when he paid for machinery in Germany to come and help us to free MKO from prison. But MKO said, don't worry. Then after that election of 2003 that Tinubu won, he discarded the Afenifere section that was working with Obasanjo and embraced the other Afenifere section that were against Obasanjo. So he went on to challenge Obasanjo's rigging from 2007. He challenged Obasanjo rigging of Edo State. He won it back for the conservative in court. He challenged Obasanjo rigging of Osun State. He won it back for the conservative in court. He challenged Obasanjo rigging in Ondo State. He won it back for the conservative by helping Mimiko then. He won back all the states that Obasanjo rigged out. And then that was 2007. Since 2011, he has been winning again for the conservative and for the Yoruba nation. He has done creditably well for the Yoruba nation. That is why his family name will always be a recurring decimal in the history of the Yoruba nation as a whole. His great-great-grandmother, Madam Tinubu, single-handedly funded the war the Yoruba fought with the English in 1851 and 1855. He used his wealth to purchase military weapons from the Portuguese and from Brazilians and gave it to the Yoruba military to confront the English. So Tinubu's family will remain special members of the Yoruba House of Obas anytime, any day that we return to regional government. That is why the type of person Tinubu is in a special position to be equivalent to any Yoruba Obas. You don't see Yoruba Obas prostrating for each other. But we do understand in history that Allah Fimangba Dobali Oba. Now, I'm saying all of these things because of the trending video of Tinubu and Oni of Ife. I have watched the video and I know that so many people will look after for my opinion. They want me to speak on this. Of course, I would like to have an opinion. And what I'm expressing tonight is my personal opinion. Even though I represent the think tank for the Yoruba nation, the Young Yoruba for Freedom, the most vocal movement, and the first movement across Yoruba land to openly embrace organized violence. I watched this video. The first one was the one that was recorded from the side way. From that video, I could see that Oni of Ife was coming while the Deputy Governor of Lagos was speaking. And with due respect to the Deputy Governor of Lagos, he stopped while Oni of Ife was taking his walk. And then Oni was greeting everybody. There were people who quickly saw Oni. But when you look at the video with Tinubu, somebody was having a deep conversation with Tinubu. Tinubu wasn't aware. From that section of the video, you could see that Tinubu wasn't aware that Oni of Ife was coming or any other person whatsoever was coming. So the elderly woman that was speaking with Tinubu quickly called his attention to the Oni of Ife. And he responded, Kabisio, I do not know the exact word he used, but anyone would have expected him to have said, Kabisio. That is the highest way of greeting an Oba with this kind of gesture, when you are almost at the same level of leadership. Now, the second video that which I have seen was the one perhaps recorded by a drone because it captured the action from above. So from that, I could see that Tinubu could see Oni of Ife walking by. Now, if I were to be Tinubu and I put myself in his position at that moment in time, I wouldn't have imagined that Oni of Ife is coming to sit very next close to me. Perhaps seeing him walking, I would have assumed that he's going to sit somewhere close to another area. So Tinubu was engrossed in the conversation he was having with that elderly woman. So you could see from the video, Oni went to him because Oni was passing by and greeted him, and Tinubu responded with this gesture, which is a highly way of greeting a highly respected Oba in Yoruba land, aside from prostrating. Now, if you now ask for my opinion, what do you expect Tinubu to have done? In view of the fact that I've told you that someone like Tinubu will have a special place in the House of Obas in Yoruba land. Now, everyone will have expected Tinubu to quickly stand up and say, Kabiyesi, and then take his seat. But the condition under which he was engrossed with that conversation, nobody could have predicted his action. For me, you ask me, I would have expected him to have stood up and greeted Oni of Ife. That he did not do that doesn't mean that he does not respect the office of Oni of Ife. There is no Yoruba Oba that Tinubu is not currently funding from his party, that Tinubu does not encourage the governor of his party to adequately fund them to perform their activities, even though the suspension of the Yoruba constitution has rendered the offices of our Obas completely useless, because ordinary local government chairmen are more powerful than our Obas, which ought not to be. So in view of that video that has been threaded, I would have expected Tinubu to have stood up to greet the Oni of Ife. That he didn't do it doesn't mean that he does not respect the office of the Oni of Ife. But this is something I want you guys to pick away from that trading video. The Yoruba Libra made it viral. The Yoruba Libra used it to antagonize, disparage the person of Tinubu. And these are the same people calling for the unity of Yoruba land. At every given opportunity, they look for means and ways to bring down Tinubu. So this is what I'm saying to young Yoruba. My parents, particularly my mother was naked in my presence, crying and saying to me that if I continue to do what I'm doing, it is Yoruba that will destroy me. And I asked her why. She said to me that I should learn from the experience of Awolowo, learn from the experience of Abiola, that the Yoruba are always destroying their own. Stop this. Concentrate on your job. You have always wanted to work in bank. This is what should be your purview. And I went into research and I came back and said to my parents, I said, no, you're wrong, but not totally wrong. Yoruba are evil-minded. Yoruba are always destroying their home. But it is the Yoruba Libras. It is these people that are destroying Yoruba land. That was when we came out with that identity, Libras and conservatives. Yoruba conservative always look for the glory and for the greatness of the Yoruba nation. But the Yoruba Libra are always looking for the downfall of the Yoruba nation. That is why whatever means they look to bring down Tinubu. That is why I'm saying to Yoruba conservative, we must not work together with the Yoruba Libra. The day you see me obnobbing with Yoruba Libra, they will kill me very soon. We must cease relationship with them. Allow them to have their own political ideology. Allow them to do whatever they want to do. Wherever they try as much as possible to undermine the greatness of the Yoruba, we attack them. Because we did not attack them when they undermined Awolowo. We did not attack them when they undermined Abiola. We did not attack them when they undermined Olufalaye. This has given them the boldness that they can bring about the destruction of Tinubu. They are wishing Tinubu to drop dead or to have coronavirus and die off. That is what they are praying silently. That is why we must destroy these guys, the Yoruba Libras. And if you look at them, it is a research that we've done. The Yoruba Libras are predominantly Pentecostal Christians. They are not Orthodox Christians. There's two different Christian denominations in Yoruba land. The Pentecostal Christians are very dangerous. If you look at the Yoruba Orisha, you will see that there is Aje Fufu and Aje Dudu. There's always the pious one and the evil one. It is the Yoruba Libra that are always consulting the evil ones. The Yoruba Libras who are Pentecostal Christian, one show Ogun ju awatan show shalo. Ogun evil, the no man shake. I have personally experienced that in my own home. I want to pray. I want a Pentecostal Christian to only pray for 3 hours. One show Ogun. One show Ogun. Ogun ika. Àwọn ló máa ń ṣe. Look at the caliber of the people antagonizing Tinubu. They are Yoruba Pentecostal Christians. Redeemed Christian Church of God and Winners Chapel. They are actually destroying Yoruba land. Because some of you are attending these churches doesn't mean that we should not speak the truth. Both of my parents are Christian. My grandfather brought Anglican Church to Akoko Kingdom. I was born and I was an altar boy. Even while I came to England, I was a steward in church. But I don't like the Yoruba Pentecostal Christians. They are the people destroying the Yoruba land. But my friends will say to me that I should always say that it is not every one of them. The truth is this: when 75% of them are doing the same horrible things, that makes them majority. We're not trying to just hide the truth. You are evil. And many, many years ago, I advocated that we are going to regulate them. Unfortunately, the federal government just copied some of our ideas and put it in karma. That was not what we wanted. We wanted Yoruba Charity Commission to regulate the Yoruba churches. We don't want the federal government to regulate them. But I said something many, many months ago that people don't even take cognizance of. I have said that some young Yoruba youth will go and attack 2 major outspoken Yoruba Pentecostal pastors across Yoruba land to show to their followers, their gullible followers, that these guys are not just powerful. The idea is that everything you must ask Jesus Christ is fraud. That was why we stated very clearly, we will stop miracle preaching and we will stop prosperity preaching. The churches across Yoruba land will have to do 2 preachings only: thanksgiving and salvation of the souls. We cannot continue to allow the Pentecostal Christians in Yoruba land to destroy our nation. They are the people preaching in their churches that Yoruba should be married to Igbo. But they are the people hating white Americans because of the killings of African Americans. They are hating white Americans because of skin color. But Hausa, Yoruba, and Igbo have difference of ethnicity, yet they are not thinking about that. So these guys that are preaching the unity of Nigeria Libra, you must never for once work with them, the conservative. I do not believe in the unity of the Yoruba nation. It is a gimmick to destroy us, conservative. People who have continuously destroyed the conservative element in Yoruba, and yet they have not been destroyed. They have the boldness. That's why they are showing off about Tinubu. And this Libra, you will see them praising Awolowo and Abiola today. Their grandfather did not support Awolowo. Their father did not support Abiola. But they are using it to deceive you as if they reckon with Abiola and Awolowo. They do not. What I'm advocating, and I've always been saying, is that we must deal with the Yoruba Libras in Yoruba land. And we are going to use that 1st of October rally that you want to do in Yoruba land across. We are going to use that to deal with you. I will be speaking with a woman that we have identified who is going to lead some teams in Ibadan. You said Seyi Makinde will give you Liberty Stadium. Now I will be speaking to that woman after this lecture so that I can help to coordinate the activities in that Ibadan area. That one in Lagos has been taken care of. If you come out on October 1st to do any stupid rally, we, the Yoruba conservative, will attack you, the Yoruba Libras. There's nothing you do. So don't pacify these people. I know them. Do not pacify them. If you attack them, they are very weak-minded souls. If you attack them, they will stop undermining the greatness of the Yoruba nation. So what happened between the Oni of Ife and Tinubu is actually nothing. It's completely irrelevant. Tinubu has respect for the Yoruba leadership. You will see before 2023, all the Yoruba Oba will speak in unison supporting Tinubu. You will see. And I've told you one thing about this Yoruba Libra. People like Femi Fanika, Adeyinka, Odumakin, and the rest of them, Benga is trying to join APC now. All of them are Libra. The moment Tinubu is made president of Nigeria, it is the Libra that will be lobbying for position from Tinubu. It is this same Libra. They will be pressing him to high heaven. That is their nature. But we cannot undermine the future of our children by ignoring the actions and activities of the Yoruba Libras. So all of them that are shouting October 1 rally, if we allow them to carry out that rally, it will embolden them. It will make them stronger. They just needed money from Igbo and Fulani to finish Tinubu off. So if we stop them in a ruthless manner on the 1st of October, believe you me, you will see complete reduction in the attack on Tinubu. Already they've been calling themselves, that stupid boy called Awikonko, he's been saying to them not to go out. He's been saying to them, oh, if you go out, don't wear Oduduwa Republic souvenirs. Don't do this, don't do that. They are very weak. You know, I told you that Awikonko once approached me to help him get out of Nigeria. You know, I told him the truth. I said, you are foolish. You have been attacking the APC all of your life, supporting PDP. Now, Obasanjo wanted to kill you because you used my video. You used my video that I made in English. You turn it into Yoruba. Obasanjo is looking for you. Now you are coming to me to help you to get out of Nigeria. Go and meet your PDP that you have been supporting. Ask him. That is what I said to him. I just ignore him because I'm very honest. There are women leader, the woman who is always anchoring the Heritage TV nonsense they do in London. She's telling them that, look, we only need 20 million signatures. So they are backing down already. These guys are weak. But if we don't attack them, they will continue to talk. They are just looking for money from Hausa, Fulani, and Igbo to finish off Tinubu. So it is a very, very dicey game for us. Because if anything happens to Tinubu, it will jeopardize the entire interest of the Yoruba nation. It's going to affect our children. Our descendants are going to be in trouble. That is when you will see this Libra very happy. So we are going to deal with them. So Libras, it's a shame that you want to do rally in London. Idiot. The English are responsible for your miserable life, for your wretched life. The English are stealing your wealth. They have crude oil in England. Are you Yoruba controlling it? But English are controlling your crude oil in Yoruba, and they are there in Niger Delta controlling it. It's a shame. You want to protest on their street. What has your protest got to do? What help are you going to get from the English that are suppressing you through neocolonialism? They are not. So all the ones they want to do in England is horrible. Just ignore them. We don't have to do anything to them in England. It's not our country. So we ignore. But try your nonsense rally in Yoruba land. That is when you will know that our generation, we are not going to behave like the conservative of the 60s, the conservative of the early 90s. No, we are different. We believe in tit for tat. That is diplomacy. So folks, intelligent people, they don't ignore. They deal with issues right there and then. That's how intelligent people do. So if you say, oh, let us ignore this Libra, you ignore them, they succeeded in that rally. The next thing they are going to do, they're going to disorganize a lot of things. By the time we beat them thoroughly, trust me, they will not even, to mention Tinubu, they will be so afraid. But if we allow them to succeed with this rally, we're done for. It is weak people who are always forgiving all the times. Strong people revenge. And they do so when it is necessary. So we, the conservative, are the strong soul. We must deal with this Libra. They are always shouting unity of Yoruba, unity of Yoruba. They attack Tinubu all of their life. If we do mistake and say we're going to work with them, go and look at the election of Awolowo, 1959. He won all the Yoruba, 19% plus. Look at the election of Awolowo in 1979. He won all the Yoruba, 90% plus. Look at the election of Awolowo in 1983. He won all the Yoruba vote, 90% plus. Look at the election of Abiola in 1993. He won all the Yoruba vote, 90% plus. Go and look at the election result of Falaye in 1999. He won all the Yoruba vote, 90% plus. So we don't need Yoruba Libras. As a matter of fact, they are half Yoruba. They are not full-blooded Yoruba. Don't let anybody fool you. We don't need them. In every civilized society, there are always two political ideologies, liberalism and conservatism. There is no point working together with these people. But I assure you one thing, the moment Tinubu is made president of Nigeria, all these horrible liberals, they will be the one lobbying for position with Tinubu. And we have been very clear. Ẹ̀yin Libra nílẹ̀ Yorùbá, ẹ máa rí jẹ ní o, ṣùgbọ́n ẹ ní rí bùdànù. Ṣùgbọ́n àwa conservative nílẹ̀ Yorùbá, a máa rí jẹ, a máa rí bùdànù, a máa control gbogbo financial ilẹ̀ Yorùbá pátápátá. Gbogbo industry ilẹ̀ Yorùbá, conservative ló máa control ẹ̀. Civil service nílẹ̀ Yorùbá, conservative ló máa control ẹ̀. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ní liberal tendency yẹn, ẹ lè lọ ṣe business, tẹ́ ẹ bá dẹ̀ ríṣẹ́, á fún yín benefit. Kẹ́tì ní ilé lórí, kẹ́tì ní healthcare, kẹ́tì lọ sí school, kẹ́tì ṣe gbogbo ẹ̀bẹ̀ yẹn, ó máa wà fún yín, kì í ṣe pọ́n fẹ́ fìyà jẹ yín. Ṣùgbọ́n pé ẹ máa wà nínú government, tẹ́ bá máa undermine greatness Yorùbá, ẹ lọ tú dànù. Ẹ máa rí jẹ bọ̀tẹ́ ẹ̀ ní rí bùdànù. Èpèdè ní fún yín, ẹ̀yin Libra yẹn. Bí àwọn grandparents yín tán ṣe antagonize Tinubu, Awólọ́wọ̀, táwọn parents yín tán antagonize Abíọ́lá, tẹ́yìn ọmọ náà tán bí ń sìn, tẹ́ wá antagonize Tinubu, ẹ máa rí jẹ ṣùgbọ́n ẹ ní rí bùdànù. Àṣẹ́dẹ̀ ti gùn. Folks, the essence of our campaign for this interpretation of the Constitution of the Western Nigeria is threefold, 3 points. I want to tell you these 3 points. Maybe you don't know. You need to know that Nnamdi Azikiwe, he was the one who abolished the regional system of government and forced Nigeria to come under the federal government because he wanted to rule Yoruba land. We refused him. So he instructed the Igbo in the army to attack via organized violence, suspended the regional government, and bring the federal government to bear. They created all of this in January 1966. The second point of this constitution that we want you to know is that Fulani then attacked the Igbo 6 months later in July 1966, and Fulani took power away from the Igbo. Fulani are now using organized violence of their own to perpetrate the unity system created by the Igbo. Fulani are very smart. They realize that they are minority, they are immigrants, they are foreigners in Nigeria, they are not indigenous to Nigeria. So they enlisted the support of the irresponsible, self-serving career politicians in England. So Fulani enlisted their support. So the English are the ones that are giving Fulani military backing, supplying weapons to them. It is the English guns that the Fulani are using to suppress and subjugate the Yoruba nation. That is the second point that we want you to note. Now, the third and final point of why we are interpreting this Western Constitution at this point in time, preparatory to 2023, is that Yoruba, we must now use organized violence. There is no second thought about this. We cannot stop the unity system that the Hausa Fulani have been perpetrating. They are not the people who introduced unity system. They are this unity system was introduced by the Igbo. We cannot change it without taking the presidency. We cannot change it without having the support of the Caucasian in America. That is it. We have to be very clear. It is our right to pick and choose the kind of human being we relate with. God Almighty has given us that right to do so. If we do not have the support of America, we can never get Tinubu's presidency. That's number one. If we do not have the support of America, we can never get a return to regional government. If we don't have the support of America, forget it, you can never smell Oduduwa Republic. You will never get it. So that is this third point that you have to take away from all of this campaign that we are doing. We must adopt organized violence as a means to free the Yoruba nation from the current subjugation of the Igbo and Hausa Fulani. Now, let me go back to these Yoruba liberals, and I will sharpen your insight into certain things you don't know. Then we can continue with chapter 6 of this constitution, which is on public services of the region. Now, I want to show you the similarity between the Igbo and the Yoruba liberals. The Yoruba Libra that you see on Facebook in England has been sponsored by the Igbo. They are raking in big money from Igbo. So the Igbo are finding it difficult because of the young Yoruba for freedom. Now, put Igbo on one side and the Yoruba Libra on the other side. Take note of this. The Yoruba Libra are not full-blooded Yoruba citizens. No, they are not full-blooded. The majority of the Yoruba Libras are half Yoruba, half Igbo. And they have one thing in common. They are predominantly Pentecostal Christians. It is very hard to see Yoruba who goes to Methodist Church, Anglican Church, Catholic Church, and the other Orthodox Church being Libra. They are very conservative. These people are very, very conservative, Baptist Church inclusive. They are very, very conservative. So the majority of the Yoruba Libras are Pentecostal Christian and they are half Yoruba. Let us look at their similarity. Number one, the Igbo came up with the concept of no referendum, no election. Remember that? They did that for 5 years. They started in 2015 after Jonathan lost the election. They started shouting no referendum, no election in 2019. But 2 days to 2019 election, they went and voted for Atiku and Obi, the PDP. It is the same thing that the Yoruba Libras have started. It is actually the Igbo that are coordinating all the activities of the Yoruba Libra. So the Yoruba Libra came up with their own concept, saying no restructuring, no 2023 election. You can see it is the same concept. So the Yoruba Libra that are shouting for Oduduwa Republic now are actually Igbo in disguise. So they have the same concept. They have the same concept. Are you trying to pass a message to us? Are we okay? Okay, because I can see your message. You see, they have the same concept. That is this number one similarity. It is actually, I can tell you authoritatively that in the Kanu group, IPOP, they are funding the Yoruba Libras. The Igbo politicians are funding Afenifere Libra wings. The Yoruba World Congress is being funded by the Igbo, and Fulani too are funding them. I know the leadership of the Yoruba World Congress. They tried to incorporate me into it. I rejected them. Yeah, we sent representatives. We rejected them at that meeting. So that is the number one similarity. So you see that. Number two, the Igbo, they call Nigeria a zoo. The Yoruba Libra, they are half Yoruba, by the way. They call Nigeria Location 9. I'm still yet to understand that. Maybe it's from the movie that was shot some times ago. So Location 9 and zoo is just saying the same thing. So you can see that it is the Igbo people that are behind the agitation for Oduduwa Republic. We started this agitation in 2012. We have a clear roadmap of getting the Oduduwa Republic. We've been very clear. First, we appeal for the support of the United States because we cannot defeat English on our own, because it is the English that are giving Fulani weapon. The English are actually stealing your wealth in Yoruba land to build England. That is it. The wealth you see in England, majority of it is stolen from Yoruba land in neocolonialism. Number two is to play politics. You participate in election. You organize yourself and put a full-blooded Yoruba citizen as the president of Nigeria. We've always been saying that where these two options fail, then the last option for the Yoruba nation is organized violence. And we've been very clear. We shut down Lagos. That is it. When you shut down Lagos, the entire Nigeria goes down. So that has always been our way. We started this agitation. We know how we're going to get to the Oduduwa Republic. And we will get it for you, believe you me. We are the generation that will take Yoruba land out of Nigeria. But all the agitation from the Yoruba Libras, who are half Yoruba, members of the PDP, is a gimmick on your intelligence. They actually do not wish to have Oduduwa Republic. They want one Nigeria. They are trying to stop Tinubu presidency. And it is through Tinubu presidency that you will have the likeliest possibility of getting Oduduwa Republic. So these guys don't want Oduduwa Republic. Don't mistake. Because they shout every now and then. No, they don't want it. Now let's just go to number three, similarity between the Igbo and the Yoruba Libra. The Igbo are always using propaganda. The Yoruba Libras are also always using propaganda too. The Igbo said that Buhari is dead, it's been cloned. How can you clone a dullard? If the white are going to clone anybody, it will be the topmost of their brains. The Igbo said that there's a Sudanese that is the president of Nigeria. It turned out to be what? Propaganda. The Igbo will tell you that the 1914 amalgamation is the problem of Nigeria. It turned out to be propaganda. It is the Igbo suspension of regional government that causes the problem of Nigeria. The Igbo will talk about marginalization, but when they were in Jonathan government, they appropriated all political positions. The same Igbo. So they're always using propaganda. They commit crime all over the world. So they try to paint it as Nigerians. But it is the Igbo who are actually these criminals. So the two are using propaganda. Look at the Yoruba Libra. Last year during the election, they came out saying that we have 1,000 Fulani cells in Yoruba land with no shred of evidence. Not a single shred of evidence. They said to you that there will be Fulanization of Nigeria because Fulani are in the presidency. They will do this and do that. Fulani have always been controlling the Yoruba waterways. They've always been controlling the police. They've always been controlling the military. They've always been controlling the custom. They've always been controlling immigration. They've always been controlling our borders. These are the things that we, as a movement, we have sharpened the inside of the entire Yoruba nation to. And we said that this has to come to an end. But they now say Fulanization, Fulani are going to take over all our life. Fulani have already taken over all our life through the unity system introduced by the Igbo. So what the Yoruba Libra are saying is all pure propaganda. They couldn't produce one single evidence to show that we have 1,000 Fulani cells across Yoruba land. A statistician will tell you there are 1,000 Fulani cells across Yoruba land with no shred of evidence. How do they count it? They couldn't. They now form a group, the Yoruba Summit Group, issuing all manners of statement before the election of 2019. At the end of the election, after Buhari won, they went into a cooler and relaxed. Recently, they came out. They said that, we have 500 Fulani ISIS members with power bikes all across a particular location. Up till now, they are yet to show us this power bike and this Fulani that they have arrested. So you see, the Igbo and the Fulani, they are always using propaganda. So you will realize that all the noise of the Yoruba people who are liberals on social media shouting for Oduduwa Republic, it is Igbo that are funding them. It is Igbo that are coordinating all the activities because everything they do is very similar. Very, very similar thing they do. So it is the Igbo, all of them in England that are talking. They are being propped by the Igbo. Number 4, you see the Igbo, they are always protesting all over the world, waving their horrible flags, singing ridiculous songs. Holy, 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 Nnamdi Kanu is another savior. Holy, holy. How could anybody be a savior? How could anybody be a savior? They are equivalent. They equivalent him as equate him as Jesus Christ. What kind of ridiculous thing is the people who lack culture? They go to New York, they are protesting. In Paris, they are protesting. In London, they are protesting. They just protest. What have they achieved after their protest from 2015 to 2019? Nothing. 2 days to the election, they went and queued behind Atiku. And a lot of them who protested in Nigeria were shot and killed by Fulani police and Fulani military. So what are they doing now? What is similar? The Yoruba Libra, they are also calling for protests across the world to be started in London. Idiot, you are starting protests in London, in London, the capital of England, when it is the English that are stealing your wealth through minority Fulani that they help to be in power. You are protesting in their country. They don't care about you. That is the honest truth. So they are encouraging the Yoruba Libras because it is the Igbo that are actually coordinating these idiot activities. So they want to be protesting all over the place. We are going to go to the Nigerian house where they want to go to the UN, waving the horrible flag they created, the blue, white, green flag, the flag of the MPN. They just copy everything except the diagonal way their own design is. They want to be waving that horrible flag and say they are representing the Yoruba nation. It's the same thing the Igbo did. After waving, look, all these protests, these Yoruba Libra want to start now. They are doing it. They are copying the Igbo. So by 2023, you just see them, oh, I think Atiku is coming out. Go. They will just tell their gullible followers to go and vote for Atiku, that Atiku will give them restructuring. The same way of the Igbo. But we know, that's why we're saying to Yoruba youth who are conservative, we cannot afford to be like our parent generation and our grandparent generation, who did nothing when Awolowo was assaulted and put in prison, who did nothing when Abiola was killed and his wife. We cannot do that. We must deal squarely with the Yoruba liberals in Yoruba land. Deal with them. We're going to fight them. We will fight you. You will see. Number 5 of the similarity between the Igbo and the Yoruba liberal. They both voted for Atiku and Obi. Look, Citizen AY in London supported Atiku. David Hamilton supported Atiku. Olayomi Koiki, we've done our research. He supported Atiku. That stupid boy, Mayegun of Inewi, he supported Atiku. All of them. The Heritage TV, those women who are always sitting around there, they all supported Atiku. Frank Bello, in fact, that guy I think is a gay. He supported Atiku. All of them, as well as the Igbo, IPOB, and Igbo people. That is their similarity. They all voted Atiku and Obi. You see, the Yoruba liberal that you see talking, they are doing it for money. They don't have passion. They don't have passion for what they are doing. Number 6 similarity is this. They both hated Awolowo, Abiola, and Tinubu. Sorry, Tinubu has never ruled an inch of Igbo land. He has never ruled them. Look at the kind of hatred that the Igbo people have for Tinubu. Yet, he has never been their governor. Odiwu Zokalu, a convicted criminal, was jailed, released from prison. Igbo are celebrating him. He was their governor. He went to jail because he looted their commonwealth. Although they don't have any commonwealth, it is the Yoruba resources that they are collecting every month in monthly allocation. Yet, Odiwu Zokalu looted it. They celebrated him. But it is Tinubu they show hatred towards. They hated Awolowo. They hated Abiola. They are hating Tinubu. The same thing Yoruba liberals. They were the people who hated Awolowo when he was alive. They hated Abiola. They are still hating Tinubu. So you see, it is the Igbo that is actually coordinating the activities of this Yoruba liberal, telling you they want to do Oduduwa Republic. They don't want to do Oduduwa Republic. We are the legitimate people who started the agitation for the Oduduwa Republic, who actually desire the Oduduwa Republic, and we're going to get it for the Yoruba nation. But we have a ways and the means to get it. It is to participate in politics. Put your son Tinubu there. After all, Obasanjo gave Hausa Fulani Sharia. So Tinubu will give you regional government. After all, when Igbo took the presidency, they destroyed regional government. Tinubu has the power to return us back to regional government and put cessation clause in the new constitution that we are going to write. After all, Obasanjo and Igbo, he wrote this 1979 constitution. Abubakar wrote the 1999 constitution. Tinubu has that power and mandate too from 2023 to write a new constitution for us. So you can see very clearly they have a common hatred for Awolowo, Abiola, Falaye, and Tinubu. Igbo hated Falaye. They hated him. Look, they call Awolowo tribalist, call MK Abiola an Islamist, call Falaye a militarist. They are calling Tinubu corrupt. It's the same thing the Yoruba liberals are doing. So when you see them in front of your Facebook or YouTube speaking their jargons, you just know that these are Igbo speaking, disguising as Yoruba people. Number 7, this is very funny, and I hate it. The Igbo, excuse me, guys. Number 7, what they have in common, Igbo and Yoruba Libra. The Igbo call themselves Biafrans. There's nothing called Biafrans. They are Igbo. IBO. That is who they are. There is no identity called Biafrans. There is no identity called Nigerians. Because Nigeria does not have a language. Biafra has no language. The Igbo call themselves Biafrans. Putting a do urobo. Ijo Efiki Bibi as part of them. The Yoruba Libra, Olori Buruku people, they just came up with a completely, totally different concept. They call everybody Oduduwans. Ayenyonida. I just hate the sound of that name. Oduduwans. You can see, it is the Igbo that are behind all of this agitation from people you think they are Yoruba, who are half Yoruba. The person who reported my deputy in America, who reported him to FBI, saying that he's a terrorist, was actually a half Yoruba, half Igbo. The guy's father is a Yoruba man. The mother is Igbo. Yet, he walked down to the FBI and reported my VP. Look at that wickedness. The guy could have been arrested. His marriage could have been badly affected. His children could have been affected as well. This guy doesn't care. He's half Yoruba, half Igbo. He went straight to the FBI and reported him. Thank God for his wife, very beautiful woman, who stood with him. This is the wickedness of the Yoruba Libras. They are half Yoruba. They hate Yoruba full-blooded. They hate Yoruba as a nation. So they call themselves Oduduwans. What a ridiculous name. Igbo call themselves Biafrans. These people call themselves Oduduwan. You will see that it is Igbo people that are behind every activities of this Yoruba that you see on Facebook. Shouting, making noise, calling for Oduduwa Republic with leaflets, with placard, sharing T-shirts. They don't believe in organized violence. You want freedom. You don't want to fight war. You want to take Yoruba away from Fulani that have been suppressing you, subjugating you for many, many years. Yet you don't need America. Why don't you do it? That's the number 7 similarity between them. Number 8, don't undermine this. The agitation of this IPOP started from England. You see, let me tell you one second. I've lived in England for 13 years. If you are extremely brilliant, you come to live in England, you will be miserable. So it is better, don't leave Yoruba land. England, you will be fucked. You will never attain your full human potential. It's not as if somebody is cursing you. Brilliant Yoruba mind are wasting away in this country. That is just for your notice. A number of Yoruba that you see shouting Oduduwa Republic, they are depressed, they are poor, they are wretched, they are lost. Living in England has destroyed their humanity. It has destroyed their love for their nation, the Yoruba nation. So we should pity them. They don't see an escape route to England. But we, the conservative, we can see, we have envisioned Oduduwa Republic. The way and manner we're going to get there, everything is articulated. We are going to get the Ekuda, and you will see how we're going to rule from 2023. So they started their own agitation for Oduduwa Republic, also in England, by attacking Yoruba conservative. So they have that 2 similarities. The Young Yoruba for Freedom, we never started in England. We started when I was in university. We were called the Cheated Generation Group. We call ourselves the Cheated Generation Group because we lack scholarship. We don't have good housing. We don't have good education. We don't have good health. We don't have every good things that our parents enjoyed. So when we formed that, we call it the Cheated Generation Group because we were cheated in all ramifications. It was in 2012 that we changed the name to the young Yoruba for freedom. Everything was founded in Yoruba. I wrote my first book as an undergraduate, Why Nigeria is Poor. The stupid police who arrested me, they seized it. That's the only copy I have. That is the only copy. I'm just keeping it so that my son and my daughter could read it when they grow up and then be impressed about what their father did as a teenager. I wrote it when I was a teenager. The police have seized it. Yet, I don't know what they want to bring it to court for, but I believe they will give me everything back. So the hype-up started their shit from England. The Yoruba that are shouting for the Oduduwa Republic started their nonsense from England. All of them, if not 90% to 99.9% of them, they are living in England, where the English have fucking messed up their brain with all manners of horrible jobs that they are doing. Yet they don't want Yoruba to be free. They are hobnobbing with Igbo so that our life can be more miserable. Hobnobbing with people who have never voted for you. Hobnobbing with people who have always been looking for a way to destroy you. Number 9, the Igbo supported the PDP. All this Yoruba Libra, they also supported PDP. Number 10, and then don't mistake this. This is a fact. The people who are shouting Biafra on social media are predominantly illiterates. Those who are on the ground that are shouting Biafra, that are being killed by Fulani carrying stick to face gun, illiterates. People who sell spare parts, second-hand clothing, who hawk gala. These are people who have never been to university. They are just stupid people being deceived by an idiot calling Nnamdi Kanu, appropriating other people's land. And they are unsuccessful people. All these people shouting Biafra, Biafra, they are unsuccessful in their chosen field. Look at the people that are shouting Oduduwa Republic on Facebook. They are illiterate. Simple thing. How do you want to get Oduduwa Republic? You want to get Oduduwa Republic by selling t-shirt, by selling face cap? Is that how they want to get it? They are illiterate. They have no understanding about any theory. They can't formulate policy. They have no ideas or ideals of how Yoruba nation can be great. They don't know how to get free and qualitative healthcare. They don't know what to say about qualitative education. They just speak jargon. They don't know what is job security. They don't know how we can have affordable housing for all. All the noise that they make about Southern Kaduna being killed, they cannot provide solution to how we can get security of lives and property. They are illiterate. The fact that some of them have university education doesn't make them intelligent people. Tell them to speak out and articulate, how do you wish to get this Oduduwa Republic? Look at what they did. They went to UNPO, an organization that is only for minority ethnic group. But Yoruba is the majority ethnic group in Nigeria and across the entire Africa. In every civilized society, it is the Fulani minority who should be asking the Yoruba for freedom. It is the Igbo minority who should be asking Yoruba for freedom, not Yoruba majority asking minority Fulani for freedom. Look at what the Scottish are doing. Scottish are 8% of the total population of the United Kingdom. The English are 84%. That's why the Scottish are always asking the English for second referendum. Why should Yoruba join the UNPO? This is why we say that these people are illiterate. They are a stupid set of people. They are bringing shame upon the Yoruba nation. Ogoni people, that their population is about 200,000 people, joined UNPO in 1994 after the killing of Ken Saro-Wiwa. These are the kind of people that should join UNPO. People like Edo people, Urobo people. Edo people is 5 million people. Urobo people is 2 million people. These are the people that should go and enlist and register with UNPO, not 60 million Yoruba people. How can 60 million be asking minority Fulani? You're asking minority Fulani to give you Oduduwa Republic. You will be the one to decide how Nigeria will be. That is why we must take the presidency in 2023. So guys, you can see that these people are ridiculous. These Yoruba Libras. They are very ridiculous. Now, let us go to chapter 6 of the Constitution of Western Nigeria. We're on day 9 now. Establishment of Public Service Commission. Look, what is called Public Service Commission is simply civil servants. I told you when we began this lecture, on our first day, we circulated the Decree 34, copy of that. There was nothing like federal civil service until the Igbo created it in 1966. What they did is that they merged together all the civil service in the regions, call it the federal civil service. Essentially, for Igbo to be able to work in Yoruba civil service, to be able to work in the Northern civil service. That is why if you go to Festac, there's an immigration office in Festac, Lagos. Go there, they speak Igbo, all the staff members. When you and I are in England washing toilet, we are in Canada doing shit job, we are in America driving taxi up and down. Igbo are predominantly working in jobs that are in Yoruba land. Hausa Fulani have appropriated all the federal government jobs in Yoruba land because Igbo destroy the regional civil service. They merge all the regional civil service together. Before 1966, any federal government agencies, department, or ministries in Yoruba land, it is only the Yoruba people that are employed there. Any federal government agencies, ministries, and departments in Igbo land, it is only Igbo people that are working there. Any federal government agencies, ministries, and department in Hausa land, it is Hausa Fulani people that are only working there. But Igbo, in their greediness, they merge the three together and turn it into federal civil service. So today, you go to the custom offices across Yoruba land, it is Hausa Fulani that you will see there and Igbo. You go to our prisons in Yoruba land, it is Hausa Fulani and Igbo that are predominantly there. You go to our customs offices across Yoruba land, it is Hausa Fulani people and Igbo that you will see there. You go to our borders in Yoruba land, it is foreigners, Igbo and Hausa Fulani that you will see there because they merge all the civil service together to suppress us. That's why you are going abroad to wash toilet. So English are talking down at you. They think that you cannot make it outside England. But we are dealing with a problem created by the Igbo. Go to the police in Yoruba land. It is Hausa Fulani that you see there. EFCC offices across Yoruba land. It is Hausa Fulani that you see there and Igbo. Even our judges in Yoruba land, they're foreigners. So this is what they do, Igbo. They destroy us, Yoruba people. We're going to bring back this constitution. I can bet it with you. We'll bring back this constitution. We're not just speaking for fun. Policies are being articulated as I speak to you right now. This constitution is coming back. That is why the presidency of Tinubu is extremely necessary. It is the future of your children if you're a Yoruba citizen. If we don't get the presidency of Nigeria in 2023, look, you know already your police, your military, your custom, your immigration, your airport, your seaport, your everything, your taxes, everything is being controlled by Fulani. When the English were enslaving us, they were not as powerful as Fulani that are controlling us now and Igbo. So if we lose 2023, believe you me, the future of our children is bleak. I have thought about my whole life. I will be fucked up in England because I won't be able to return home. The English that have abused, the English police in particular, that have lashed out, they will just play. My life will be just like a common card in their fucking hands. So personally, we must get that. Believe me, if we don't get it, a lot of Yoruba citizens will be miserable. A lot of us will die of depression because our life will be totally controlled by foreigners across Yoruba land. Everything we own, our banks, our industries, you know, Igbo have damaged Yoruba land. Yoruba land is the dumping ground of the world. They go and bring clothes that has been worn by people with debilitating diseases. They will bring it and dump it on us, and we are going to be wearing second-hand clothing. They've dumped. Look, if you know the television and computer screen they are bringing, there is carbon dioxide in this computer they are bringing, like television tube. All of them have gone. See, the damage they've done. These chemicals are all over our land. So if you build borehole, you are actually drinking leads that will kill you over time. So they have destroyed our life. If we don't get the presidency in 2023, we're fucked forever. There's nothing else we can do because we can't fight Fulani who has the backing of the English. And America will not support us. The moment we don't get the presidency, America will support whoever is the president of Nigeria. So where are we going to get it? So don't let the liberal fool you. Don't let the liberal fool you into hating Tinubu. The future of your children is at stake. The future of your children is that. Think about our parents. They want to go to the hospital, they depend on us. If we don't give them money to go to the hospital, they die. They want to feed, they depend on us. If we don't get the presidency in 2023, when we grow old, you know, our own kind of children, they are so exposed that they don't even want to take care of anybody. So in our old age, we are likely going to face miserable living. Say we are looking at our parents now. Because our own children, they will tell us in our old age, you don't know that all the wealth we have in Yoruba land has been seized by foreigners, Igbo and Fulani. So the Tinubu presidency is our last call. Believe you me. If we miss it, we're gone. So don't allow this Libra to continue to undermine Tinubu. As a matter of fact, look at the supporters of President Trump. They go hard, physically fighting the Democrats. Everyone is fully armed in America for the election in November 3rd. That is how we're going to do in Yoruba land. We will be fully armed against the Yoruba Libras. So they destroy our public service. If you look at section 62, subsection 1, under public service of the region, it says, there shall be a public service commission for the region, which shall consist of a chairman and not less than 2 or more than 4 other members who will manage the entire civil service. The members of the Public Service Commission of the region shall be appointed by the governor, that is Oni of Ife, acting in accordance with the advice of the premier. That shows how beautiful everything was. There was nothing like federal civil servant. Igbo introduced that concept so that they can work in Yoruba land. They don't work in Yoruba land before. Igbo targeted you. They destroyed you. If we do not go back to regional government and return back our constitution, which was suspended in 1966, our life will be miserable and the life of our children will be worse off. So the election of 2023 is a high stake, guys. It's a desire. It will be disaster for the Yoruba. Look at, we are actually at a very precarious situation. We have coronavirus. We need to protect Tinubu from getting coronavirus. We need to protect him from getting assassinated. There's so much pressure on us. And this Yoruba Libra continue to attack this guy at every given point. We can manage this coronavirus by excusing him from exposure to this. We can manage the attempted assassination on his life by giving him security from Israel. We should be able to manage. It is the responsibility of the Yoruba youth to now manage the Yoruba Libra by dealing with them physical for physical, fighting with them. That is what we should do as a people. Because if we don't do it, we're fucked. If you look at section 62, subsection 5 of the Constitution of Western Region, it says, a member of the Public Service Commission of the region may be removed from office by the governor, acting in accordance with the advice of the premier, for inability to discharge the function of his office, whether arising from infirmity of mind or body or any other cause, or for misbehavior. So now, you look at our public service today. Look at the way and manner corruptions are everywhere. Nobody can remove them because it is federal civil service. You go to the passport office in Lagos or in Ibadan. It is Hausa, Fulani and Igbo that you see there. You don't even get your passport for months. They are asking you for bribe because Oni of Ife is no longer appointing those who must coordinate our public service. So there's nothing you can do. You go to our own airport, Lagos International Airport. Don't call it Muritala, guys. You go there, it is Hausa Fulani that you will see there. You Yoruba, you don't even have job. Yet Hausa Fulani have several airports in their own space. Yet they are the one working there. Sadiq Abubakar 3 International Airport in Sokoto, Aminu Kano International Airport in Kano, and several other airports. They have about 13 airports there in the, not Hausa Fulani land. It is still their children that are working there. Our only few airports in Yoruba, it is still Hausa Fulani and Igbo who are working there. They ask you to pay bribe. If you don't pay, nothing happens. Because these civil servants are no longer appointed by our head of state, the Oni of Ife. So that is why you can't complain. So imagine it is Oni of Ife who appointed the head of the public service across Yoruba land, and they're asking you to pay bribe. You report such to Oni of Ife, the next day Oni of Ife removes him. He will be removed. Go and remove Hausa Fulani that are collecting bribe from you. You look at the police in Yoruba land and military. All of them, they will stop you, pay bribe. You refuse, they can kill you. That was how they killed my elder brother. He refused to give them bribe. When they stopped him, they shot him and killed him. What can you do? Nothing. Because the Igbo damaged our life by bringing about unitary system. It is this unitary system that is destroying your life. It is the unitary system that has destroyed Nigeria. It is destroying Yoruba land. Look at section 62, subsection 7 of the Constitution, under public service of the region. It says, a person who has been appointed to be a member of the Public Service Commission of the region shall not therefore be eligible for appointment to any office in the public service of the region. Beautiful. If you are a civil servant and you've been appointed to be, you cannot work in any other capacity until you resign your job, your position. There's so many things that has gone wrong. We're going to bring back our constitution. We are going to be able to do this through the presidency of Tinubu. If you look at section 63, subsection 1 of the Constitution, it says, power to appoint persons to hold or act in offices in the public services of the region, including power to make appointment on promotion and transfer, and to confirm appointment, and to dismiss and exercise disciplinary control over persons holding or acting in such offices shall be vested in the Public Service Commission of the region. I have noted this section to point out to something. If you look at Decree 34, under the unification decree that Agui Rosin signed, that merged all the public service of the Yoruba, of the Igbo and Hausa Fulani, and merged them into one that became known as the Federal Civil Service today. There was a provision says that you cannot employ anybody into this civil service unless on the approval of the Igbo people, because they were the people in government then. That was how they gained access into be working in Yoruba land today. Go to our custom. We have 11 custom commands. You see Igbo there. Go to our ports, Apapa Wharf and Tinker Port. You will see Yoruba with bedroom slippers doing ala aru in Yoruba port. Yet, Igbo and Fulani are controlling that port. It was that decree that destroyed your life. Can we Yoruba control their ports in Canada, or control their port in America, or control their port in England, or even control Hausa Fulani land or Igbo land? Our own children are doing ala aru in our home port. Igbo and Fulani that are foreigners in Yoruba land are the one working top jobs in our port. Igbo brought it about through the unification decree of Decree 34 of 1966. They suspended Yoruba public service. They merged everything together. Look at this. If you look at section 4, subsection 4 of section 63, it says, no appointment shall be made under the section to any office on the personal staff of the governor unless the governor signifies his approval of the appointment. So you cannot appoint civil servants that will work with the Oni of Ife because he's the governor, which equivalent to the head of state, unless he personally approves them. But what do you see today? The orderly, the police orderly protecting Oni of Ife are mostly Hausa Fulani. Your governors, your elected politicians, it is Hausa Fulani police that are protecting them, monitoring their meetings, monitoring their activities, because Fulani control the presidency. So horrible Yoruba Libra, they realize that Tinubu is about to get the same power so that he can put things right. They are coming out to undermine him, saying that they want to go out and protest, asking for Oduduwa Republic. We will deal with you in a ruthless manner. And you won't be a Tima Bajeni. You see that now. There were times that all the commissioners of police and military head across Yoruba land were foreigners. Hausa, Fulani, and Igbo. They destroy you, Yoruba. They just want to. So you are always blaming English. Oh, white people. You condemn them. They colonize you. They enslave you. But your port, your children are doing Allahu in your port. Is that not worse than what the English did to you? Your police, your children are not the people in charge of your policing. Your children are not the people in charge of the military bases in Yoruba. Is that not worse than English enslavement of the Yoruba people for almost 100 years? Your children are not in charge of your waterways. Your children are not in charge of your port. Your children are not in charge of your airport. Your children are not in charge of your prison. Your Yoruba children are not in charge of your custom. The taxes you collected in Yoruba land, you are not in charge. Is that not worse than what the English did to us? If you don't know the definition of slavery, this is it. Fulani are controlling your space with the support of the Igbo. And the Yoruba Libra are saying Tinubu can be president. Yama Jebasta Sinlara. If you look at section 64, if at any time the office of the deputy governor of the region is established under section 43 of this constitution, remember, note that if at any time the office of the deputy governor of the region is established under section 34 of this constitution, there is no provision for the office of the deputy governor. But in case this is established, power to appoint person to hold or act in that office and to remove person to so appointed from that office shall be vested in the governor, acting in accordance with the advice of the premier. There is no provision for the office of the deputy governor. If there must be anyone so appointed, it must be by the head of state, Oni of Ife, by himself, acting in accordance with the advice of the Oni of the prime minister. Let us go to section 65 of the Constitution of Western Nigeria, subsection 1. It says, power to appoint person to hold or act in the office of the agent general. Now, I want you to take note of this, folks. Folks, if you can help me to copy this, and our guys who are watching me while I remember, to copy this, it's very, very important. Majority of the Yoruba, you don't know that we Yoruba, we have our own ambassador to the United Kingdom. We don't have the same ambassador. If anybody is coming to Nigeria under regional government, you cannot get one visa. If you are going to Yoruba land, your visa will be different from the visa that will take you to Hausa Fulani land. Your visa will be different from the visa that will take you to Igbo land. If you are foreigners coming to Yoruba land, you will have to meet with our own ambassador, separate from Igbo ambassador, separate from Hausa Fulani ambassador. Yoruba, we used to be an independent nation. Igbo brought us to this sham unitary system. We have our own ambassadors. These things are shocking to you, right? Because you don't read. Yoruba land used to be an independent nation. Igbo destroy your life, not the amalgamation of 1914. Now you read with me, section 65, subsection 1. I'm reading from page 193. It says, power to appoint person to hold or act in the office of the Agent General of the region in the United Kingdom, including power to make appointment on promotion and transfer, and to remove persons so appointed from that office shall vest in the governor, acting in accordance with the advice of the Premier. Appointment of the Agent General to the United Kingdom. We have our own ambassadors. This is your constitution that I'm reading from. You know why the Igbo destroyed that? Because the foreigners who were coming to Yoruba land, they are paying their visa fee to Yoruba land. It was our own income. Foreigners don't like to go to Igbo land because there's nothing there. Very few foreigners go to Hausa Fulani land. They always come to Yoruba land because our space is developed, we're accommodating, and we have the human capital. So everyone wants to come to Yoruba land. So we earn a lot of money as a visa fee. The Igbo are not earning money. It is not our problem. They ought to have developed their space, but they refuse. Imagine if we have retained this system, we will have earned a lot of income from visa fee. You know how many Yoruba that goes to queue trying to get visa to United Kingdom, trying to get visa to Canada, trying to get visa to America, and we're denied. These countries are making so much money from visa fee. We ought to make so much money from our visa fee from this country too. This is got tit for tat. But today, what do you see? Everybody coming to Nigeria, they are coming to Yoruba, but we no longer control the visa fee. It is federal government that is controlling it because the Igbo suspended this constitution. Imagine if we have been using this constitution and continue with regional government. You think that the English will be threatening Yoruba with deportation in England. If they do, there's principle of reciprocity. We will deport their own citizens from Yoruba land. How do we, can we deport English now in Yoruba land who are doing shit, who have no university education, working in our oil and gas, working in our financial services, working in our capital market, who are the concessionaire managing our port and seaport? Can we deport them now? No, but every time in their own country, they threaten Yoruba with deportation. They put Yoruba in a deportation camp. Yoruba are applying for asylum in their country, refusing them, yet their government is stealing our crude oil in Yoruba land. Yet their businesses are making huge profits. Businesses like Guinness, Nigerian PLC, PricewaterhouseCoopers, Cadbury, Standard Chartered Bank, English businesses are making hell of money. If we have continued with regional system of government, English will never threaten Yoruba in England with deportation because we have our own ambassador. He's going to report back to the Prime Minister in Yoruba land, and we deport the English who are living in our space. This is a beautiful system destroyed by the Igbo. Igbo destroy Nigeria. They will never rule. They will not be president of Nigeria. And they don't want us to go back to regional government. That's why they are scared of Tinubu's presidency. Let us look at section 65, subsection 2 of our constitution. It says, before tendering any advice for the purposes of this section in relation to any person who hold any office in the public service of the region, other than an office to which this section applies, the Premier shall consult the Public Service Commission of the regions. So our premiers will always be consulting the Public Service Commission for appointments to be made into people that are going to be working in government. Section 66 of the Constitution, subsection 1 says, power to appoint person to hold or act in the office of permanent secretaries to any department of government of the region and to remove person so appointed from that office shall be vested in the governor, acting in accordance with the advice of the Premier. You see how powerful the Oni of Ife is? The Yoruba Libras who do not like him, who condemn this guy, when the wife he married was misbehaving and he let her be, the Yoruba Libra insulted him. Even his new wife, the Yoruba Libras, are insulting her. They have no respect for the office of Oni. So they are just using gimmick to cause friction between that office and the leadership of the APC in Yoruba land. We have no respect for our Oba again because the Igbo destroyed this beautiful constitution. They destroyed it. So any permanent secretaries cannot be appointed across Yoruba land without the approval of the Oni of Ife. But today, it doesn't have a say in anything. Ordinary local government chairman is more powerful than the Oni of Ife. Nothing. See how they reduce us. You said to the Fulani, let us go back to regional government. They will say no. Said to the Igbo, let us go back to the regional government. They will say no. You know why? Because they are stealing your wealth. They are actually behaving the same way the English colonial talk did. When the English were with us, they stole our wealth to develop England. Fulani are stealing our wealth to develop Hausa Fulani land. With the Igbo, they are using Yoruba money to develop their space. That is why our children are scattered all over the world doing horrible jobs. It's like second slavery for us. Let us quickly look at the qualifications of Director of Public Prosecution. Section 67. A person shall not be qualified to hold or act in the office of Director of Public Prosecution of the region unless he is qualified for admission as an advocate in Nigeria and has been so qualified for not less than 10 years. You need 10 years experience to get into that position. Appointment and tenure of office of Director of Audit. Section 68, subsection 1. Before appointing any person to hold the office of Director of Audit of the region, the Public Service Commission of the region shall consult the Premier. So anybody that's going to audit our account of the Yoruba nation will have to be appointed with the advice of the Premier. There's so many other things that you need to read about that. Power relating to the clerks of the legislative houses, you need to read that up. Power of commissions in relation to grant of pension and every other things, we have such as well. So these are some of the things that you guys need to read up about the Yoruba nation. So you see how beautiful our constitution is. This is on public service of the region, which was suspended by the Igbo. They created the Federal Civil Service so that they can undermine the greatness of the Yoruba nation. It is very unfortunate that we, as a nation, the Yoruba nation, we have allowed this to go on for far too long. It is very, very unfortunate. So the only option for us as Yoruba people is to play politics, participate in politics. The Fulani have no option to give power back to Yoruba citizen and a conservative, full-blooded Yoruba citizen for that matter. And the best choice of the Yoruba nation is Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So that is why we must guide this jealously, folks. We must guide these things jealously. If we don't deal with the Yoruba liberals, they are going to finish us completely. What they did to Awolowo, what they did to Abiola, what they did to Falai will happen to Tinubu as well. So you must go out on the 1st of October, hunting for Yoruba liberal. That is it. You just hunt them down. They are horrible. They want to destroy Yoruba land. So if we do not fight them now, they will destroy our civilization, and it is our children that will suffer this the most. So guys, thank you. Let me see. Yeah, you're right, Mr. Isaac. The second Niger bridge is currently being constructed by the Yoruba money. The Igbo cannot generate money to construct that bridge from their own space. Every development you see in Hausa Fulani land comes about as a result of the Yoruba money. This is what gets me upset. People who do not have wealth, they are ruling over us. Imagine African American ruling over white in America. Imagine the Scottish ruling over the English in United Kingdom. It doesn't make sense. You see, these guys have the option, believe you me. Now, I will say this to you. Look at the United States of America. President Trump is white. His vice is white. So those of you Libra who are thinking, oh, Tinubu is going to get somebody from the Canary and you'll be wishing him to die. Look, there's a lot of constitutional crisis that will happen. You will have to go to court. If America can have vice president white and the president white, there is nothing that stops Tinubu from having a Yoruba as his vice president. What's stopping? You have to explain to us. So you think that he cannot remove this vice president and replace him with Yoruba? If you don't like it, if that happens, you Hausa Fulani don't like it and Igbo, you will have the right to protest on your streets, saying that you want a non-Yoruba as vice president. Tinubu does not need to respond to you. His handler will just say, okay, if you don't like Tinubu a Yoruba to be president, and you don't like the vice to be Tinubu a Yoruba to be president, and you don't like the vice also Yoruba to be vice president, then you have the option of opting out of Nigeria. Now, if we throw that option to Hausa Fulani, if you don't want two Yoruba to be president and vice president, then go out, form Arewa Republic. We said that to the Igbo too. Go out of Nigeria, form Igbo Republic. There's something like Biafra. There will be a lot of constitutional issue that will happen. Nigeria will definitely change for better with Yoruba ruling. There's nothing. Look at the United States of America, look at UK. Do they have ministers according to the number of their states? Do they have 50 ministers in America? You're saying that we must have ministers from each state. Look, Tinubu is likely going to have more than 70% of his ministers as Yoruba. We will remind you of how you have been doing the same shit. He will have even he can have 90% of his minister as Yoruba, and you will have an option. If you don't like it, you have the option of breaking up from Nigeria. Igbo, if you don't like it, you have the option of allowing Tinubu to have Yoruba predominantly as ministers, or you break up of Nigeria. It will be a big shame if they are given the option, be on your own, and they now said, okay, we will accept Yoruba to have 90% of the minister. They know that we are the economic backbone of Nigeria. Any nation that is economic backbone of a multicultural country always rule. It happened in America. It's happening in the United Kingdom. It will happen in Nigeria. So don't follow the Yoruba stupid Libra. They will tell you, keep your secret, keep your strategy to yourself. Fulani will tell you, and they will say it to their children that they are born to rule, that they will rule over you. If you talk, that they will kill you. They are impressing this on their children. So their children are also replicating the same thing. Hausa Fulani youth will tell you that it is still the turn of Hausa Fulani, that they have the population more than you. That is the same thing their parents have been saying to them. The Hausa Fulani are still saying that if they want to decide the presidency in 2023, it is them that will decide. That they will vote another Fulani because they have the population. It is because their strategies is in the open. They want to suppress the Yoruba by all means. And their children are learning from how they are doing it. The Igbo are doing the same thing. They don't have secrets. Don't let them use psychological weapon to destroy you. The Igbo will tell you that they have weapon in Yoruba land. Imagine that they will kill all of you. The Igbo will tell you that they will not vote for Yoruba, yet half of their population are living in Yoruba land, and we don't attack them. So why should we hide our thoughts? Why should we hide our strategy? If Tinubu becomes president, let me tell you, there is possibility that the vice president will also be Yoruba under 1 year. Because the calculation of the Igbo and Fulani is for Tinubu to die, so that the vice president, who is likely going to be from Kanuri region, to take over. They will be calculating how they are going to assassinate him. Tinubu, as the president, then will have the power to remove the vice and replace him with a Yoruba citizen. If the Hausa Fulani are crying, let them go onto the street to protest. If they started protesting, Tinubu can speak. He can say to them that, look, this is Nigeria. Everybody has the right to be whatever they want to be. Whether you are Yoruba or Igbo and Hausa, you can become whatever you want to become. Tinubu will use that language to them, perhaps, and they will be upset, saying that they don't want it. He will give them an option. If you don't want it because my vice is Yoruba, because I'm Yoruba, this is your territory. The federal government will approve if you are willing to leave Nigeria. You think Fulani will say they want to go? They will not. They will accept that. If Tinubu put all Yoruba as ministers in his government, and Igbo want to talk, say, they are being marginalized, only Yoruba. How come in America all the whites are secretaries to Trump? Look at England. They are predominantly English who are secretary. Is the Scottish shouting? Is the Welsh shouting? Is the Irish shouting that they are not part of the secretaries of government? No. So Igbo, if you don't like Yoruba to be full ministers, we'll carve out your space and give you the option. You know, the president will be talking there. It will be different. We know your mind, Igbo, and we know the minds of the Hausa Fulani. Hausa Fulani has the backing of the English. The English don't like Tinubu. Fulani don't want Tinubu to be president. Hausa Fulani don't want Tinubu as well as Igbo. You understand? They don't want, they are wishing him to die. The all manners of terrible things, that's what they are wishing Tinubu. So don't think that you as Yoruba conservative, you should not be strategic as well. That's why the option of organized violence is on the table. If they do shit, Lagos is coming down. We blow everywhere where the money is coming because we own this money. We must rule these people. That's when you will see the weaknesses of the Igbo and Hausa Fulani. A sitting president is giving them on a platter of gold, telling the Igbo, this is your Biafra. If you are ready, we are going to give you, because you don't want to accept regional governments. The Igbo will have a choice. If they don't want a return to regional government, then they break away and form Igbo Republic. You can't compare. Why is everybody scared of Buhari? Why is everybody scared of him? Why is everybody scared of the police? Why is everybody scared of the military? Look at the military who just killed that guy from Benue. Why are you scared? Because Buhari is the president. You will be scared of Tinubu too. He will be president too. And he will not be violent like Buhari, but he will put the option on the table. If he formulates any new ideas, like devolution of power to the regions, any ethnic nations within Nigeria who does not like the devolution of power to the region will have their chance to get out of Nigeria. It's not going to make it compulsory for you to be part of Nigeria. So we have to do what is right. We have always been telling you, that's what we must say, guys. We must tell the Hausa, Fulani, and Igbo, we do not believe in zoning. We're warning you. That is the same strategy they are using for us. They will tell you they are born to rule. They will tell you they have the population. They will tell you that, look at their lies. They said they have the population, yet Buhari contested 3 times. He failed. Yet all of their people, they voted for Buhari. How come he continued to fail? They don't have the population. They just tell you bullshit and you want to believe it. So we're telling them, no zoning. We're telling them now that Tinubu can contest for election with a Kanuri vice president. After the election, he can choose to remove the Kanuri vice president and replace him with a Yoruba man. He can even replace him with a Yoruba from Edo. He can replace him with a Yoruba from Kogi. He will tell you it is still the same North, Abi. Maybe you have been using the joker against us all this while, putting Kwara and Kogi as the North, right? Tinubu can get a candidate from Kwara or Kogi as his vice president, who will be Yoruba. At that time, the Fulani will now shout, no, it's a Yoruba man. Tinubu will ask them, but is Kwara and Kogi no longer part of the North? You see, they won't be able to talk. They won't be able to talk. We have tolerated a lot of shit from the Hausa, Fulani, and the Igbo for far too long. It is too much. When the English colonized us, they were not as ruthless as the Igbo and Fulani. Igbo and Fulani are black people. The English were not as ruthless as them. So that is the show that will shock you. So we are saying it out in a very clear manner. Yeah, Tinubu can change his vice president to somebody from Kogi or Kwara. Is he not from the North? So that is when the Hausa Fulani will say, no, it's a Yoruba man. We then ask them, so now it's a Yoruba man. Shebi, you have been saying Kwara and Kogi are part of the North. We will play this game, but we are very honest, very truthful. What we are asking for is devolution of power back to the region. We want back our constitution. That's what we were asking for. We cannot get it under Buhari presidency. We cannot get it under Igbo presidency. No Hausa, Fulani, or Igbo will devolve power to the region. They won't do it. Only a full-blooded Yoruba citizen, a conservative Yoruba, that will do it. Half Yoruba citizen will not do it. That was why Obasanjo did not do it. Obasanjo gave Sharia to the Hausa Fulani. He refused to give Yoruba regional government. You can see that. So, folks, however they want to play this game, the option on the table is organized violence. Without organized violence, we are not going to be able to secure the future of our children. We will not. So we must be prepared. Thank you very much. Of course, Tinubu must be jealously guided. So thank you very much, guys. I'll see you tomorrow.